Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to the next video on Project Ruby. Today, we're going to get the wing off, we're going to take the door off, and get the new door on at long last, because I'm fed up with the wind blowing that plastic when I'm sitting in the car. So let's get it done, and then after that, we can get on and get some of that welding done, which I'm scared about, but let's get on with it, let's get it done. Yes, here we are. Time to get the wing done. The door, I may try and do the door today, possibly, I don't know. It doesn't actually take very long to do the door, does it? And I've got to open the door and remove all that stuff to actually get the wing off. So I might well do the door as well today. If not, I will do it another day, and will be on this video, but we'll see. But anyway, yeah, we're going to get the wing off. So I've got to get the arch liner out, get all the bolts undone, cut that rotten sealant that Fiat use. I've got to take the headlight out obviously as well, and get that off, and then the other one, the new one I've got, which is in the garage, which will hopefully, fingers crossed, match. If not, we'll have to try and get another one from a 2014 car, and because I don't know what that came off of age wise, but hopefully it'll match. But red is quite notorious for not matching when it comes off of other cars because it changes colour, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get it done. Wow, that was a pain getting that cable out. I'm just going to put my gloves on before I do this. That was really a pain. I cut my finger getting the stuff off of the sealant off of the wing. But I couldn't get that cable out. I've done it now. Right, let's lift this off. There you go. Nice and easy. Okay, that's that. Right, there's no hinge bending, I don't think, on this. Pretty sure there's not. Nothing looks bent, nothing looks indented, which is good. So we didn't want that. Right, okay. So my daughter's going to help me with the new door. So I'll get that old one out of the way, and then I'll get my daughter to come and help me. Right, the door is on and it's all okay by the looks of things. I'm pleased about that. There was a little bit of jiggery pokery needed, my favourite word, that. With, I think when it had hit it, what it had done, that was a little bit skew with and a little bit pushed in too far. So I brought it right out, straightened it up. The door was a little bit proud, so I've undone it, done it up, you know, moved it around, got it in the right place, and now the door shuts fine. Absolutely spot on. So everything seals like it should at the top. Yeah, all looks great. So what we need to do now, obviously we need to change the trims over as well. I won't worry about that at the moment because it's actually started raining again now, but it all looks good. I wish the convertible had looked as good as this. So what I was a little bit worried about, although I did feel under the old door at the time, was where that had pushed up under there, whether it had actually deformed the bottom of the door and would stop this door from closing, but it doesn't appear to. It all seems fine. So that's good. I'm pleased about that. Now I've got to offer the wing up and hope that lines up all right. I did actually give it a good clean down there as well, because obviously you can't ever get to that, so hence why we got the old miracle stuff, whatever you call it, elbow grease down there. So now they did forecast this rain for sort of lunchtime-ish today. Must be about 1:15, something like that. They did forecast it. This afternoon we're supposed to have sun, so I'm going to go indoors and have some lunch now, put the tools away, and then wait for this. It's eased off a little bit, but it is still raining. It's no fun doing this in the rain. So yeah, I'm going to have some lunch and then come back and put the wing on. And then, should I put the door card on? I might as well put the door card on as well, mightn't I? There's no need not to. This, I've noticed that this handle is sticking a little bit. See that? Normally that's because that's too tight under here. I think it's had a replacement handle. It's not been put on very well, which is why it's sticking. But we'll sort that out. The eagle-eyed of you may have spotted that if we go around to the driver's side, these are the luster, not the luster, what do you call them, satin handles. And obviously on this, because this door has come off the lounge, as well as having chrome bit there, and the shiny bit there and the shiny bit there, it's also got the chrome handle. Now I was looking at the prices of the satin ones, and they're so expensive, so I've done something else, which I will show you later. Maybe not on this video, but at some point I will show you, which I think you'll think it looks good, but we'll see. But yeah, I'll show you that another time. I'm getting wet out here, so I need to go indoors. So yeah, that's it for the time being. So we'll be back out this afternoon, and hopefully we can get that wing on, all lined up, all put back, and then as soon as we get those, the bars come, the bottom bars come. All we're waiting for now is the legs. Once the legs come, we can get all that front buttoned up. But at the moment, it's starting to resemble a proper car again. Once we've got all that other stuff done, we can then concentrate on getting this done, which will be good to get that done. Now, if you remember this door, I believe they sent me the wrong door. It cost me £150, this door, and the bloke said he was, to start off with, he was quite helpful, and then I had to keep chasing him up all the time. And I said to him, I don't think this is the door that I bought, because it's not in the same sort of condition. This is not damaged. That little dent there might be damaged that was caused with the courier, that dent there. But none of these scratches were done like that. So I don't believe that this is the same door. And he said, look, do you want, would you be satisfied if I give you a discount? And I said, well, I guess if you haven't got the proper door, then I've got no choice really. And he actually gave me a £75 discount. He gave me £75 back. So I can't really complain about that. Obviously, I have got to repair this door. There are a couple of little dents, and those scratches have got to be repaired. But I may even get the dent bloke round, because it'll only cost me 25 quid to get the dent bloke round to do them properly. And I don't know whether we'll be able to do this or not. I'm not sure he will. But there's a dent just there. You can't really see it where it's wet. You get it in the right light. There you go. You can maybe just about see it just there. I don't really want to start using my spot welder up there. So without touching it this time, yeah. So there is a little bit there. Is that plastic? No, that's part of the metal as well. So that will probably be pulled out as well. But I'm sort of quite looking forward to doing this. So I reckon I'm going to be able to do it. I'm going to pull that up, push that down, pull that back out, push that piece there back in. Sort this bit out. This might sort it out on its own. Fill whatever's left. That's got to be pushed down there because that's risen up. And then this is really bleeding. And then fill what's left, sand it, paint it. Job done. And then obviously I've got to take the Fiat thing off, the silver thing. That'll have to come off, and then that will go back on again, of course. So yeah. What do you think? We're getting there, aren't we? We are really getting there. Right, I'm going to pause and then we'll come back once I've had some lunch and the weather improves a little bit. There we go. See, the bumper fits nice. Fits nice that side. And it fits nice that side. Nice change, isn't it? This is obviously still too high. The bonnet, I'm not sure whether the front panel is slightly too high. I think it might be. Just very slightly. But I don't want to lower it too much, because if you lower it, then it messes up these gaps. Because you know what, I think it's the bonnet. It's the bonnet somehow. The bonnet's got to come down. It's got to go up at the back and down at the front, because we've still got a big gap. I mean, I haven't really adjusted it much, but we've got a much too big gap. Probably 4 mil. Almost equal. It's a bit tight at the top there, but it's all the way along there is equally too much. So yeah, I'm not sure whether the front panel's got to go down just a smidge. Not a lot. And the same goes that side. That side, it gets worse as it comes along. So yeah, no. It may be a case of manipulating the bonnet. It may be a case of lowering the hatch, lowering the catch, the bonnet catch, so it goes down further. That might be the better option. Because at the moment the gaps above the headlights are too big, where the bonnet's too high. But for a first fit, after the new wing going on, it's not bad. That's not bad at all. There is a slight colour issue. The wing, it's a slightly different colour. Or actually, I think it's the door. The door is slightly darker. Yeah, the door, because it looks different to there. So I think that wing matches the back and matches the bonnet, but it's the door. So what I'm going to try and give it a machine polish, because I thought this, well, the one that I bought was off of a 2014 car, and again, that was the reason I bought it, because it was from the same age car, because these colours get darker as they get older, rather than fading like most reds. This Fiat red actually gets darker and changes colour, turns into more of a purple. Again, as always, it looks worse through the camera than it really is, but I think what I'll try and do, I did machine polish that actually, because that was one of my efforts in, I bought this ages ago, and I tried my cut and polish, sanding it back and then polishing it, cutting it back and polishing it, and it come up a treat. So I am going to do, well, not going to sand it back, but I'm going to cut it back with cutting compound and polish it up and see if I can get it to come back to its more original colour, which would be nice. If not, it'll just have to stay as it is, but I'm pleased with the gap now. I sorted the gap. The gap was wrong, was too much. I unhooked all the wing again and have done it much better. So I've got to change these. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It all seems to fit quite well. I've inspected the floor under here. I've got to sort this door handle. I've inspected the floor under there and it's fine. That floor, someone said that's definitely done more damage, it's a Cat S for a reason, blah 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 blah, and there's going to be damage to the floor. No, there's not. Some people, the glass is really always half empty, isn't it? It's a Cat S because of this. No other reason. There's nothing wrong with the floor, there's nothing wrong underneath. There may possibly be under there. We will find that out once we get to that bit. But yeah, all the mongers of grief and bad luck always make themselves heard. They shout too loud. But yeah, it's all looking good. All looking good. Door shuts nice. Probably needs a little bit more of adjustment, but all looking good. So I'm pleased so far with the progress. So we will be back next week when we do some more. Okay, morning and welcome back again. For me it's a few days, for you it's a few seconds. So I have been at work this week. Today's Friday and I'm hoping to get this video up loaded for Sunday. So what are we going to do today? Now I've been having to think about this. So as we know, we're a little bit high here. We're a little bit high at the sides, both sides. And at the moment we don't really know why that is. Now, what I said earlier on the video was that my intention was, or my thought was, because there's a bit of a gap here on the top of the light, that obviously that's because the bonnet is too high at the front. Now, there's various ways of adjusting this. You can bend the hinges, you can sort of manipulate it yourself and bend it down. An element of that I've done. It's sort of more or less equally out. There's a little bit higher that side on the driver's side than it is on the passenger side, very minutely, but it's pretty much equal. Now, normally what I would do with this is I would, which I've probably already said on a few days ago on this very video, that the front panel is probably a little bit low and needs to come up a little bit. Now, ordinarily I would do that, but because the bumper is on, oh hang on, I think I've got a parcel being delivered. That was the postman, and it's quite an exciting little arrival that's come, and we'll be doing an unboxing of that on another video, and then we'll be fitting it to a car, not this car, but a car. But we'll come to that another time, another video. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, so normally I would say that which I've already said, is I would adjust that, but because these bumpers are fitted nicely, both sides, if I start lowering the front panel, that's going to put that out, and I don't want that to happen. So first thing I'm going to try is I'm going to take the bonnet catch off. Just going to let it flop loosely inside the car, and then I'm going to lower the bonnet down, leaving the bumper where it is at the moment, and I'm going to see what happens. If it just stops where it is, the same as it is now, then it's probably going to be the front panel, in which case I will have to think about hiring up a little bit, and I really don't want to do that, because if that comes up, I'm going to end up with that horrible gap just there, which we see far too often on cars, my cars as well sometimes, and I know other people have had the same problem. And that can be fixed to a degree by manoeuvring the bracket on the wing, but that's not the ideal way. If that's wrong, we want to get it right. So I'm going to try that first. So if without a catch there it shuts down and it shuts down okay, then that means the catch is too high. Now I believe the catch is as low as it will go. So what I've done before is I've increased the size of the aperture that fits into the 3 bolts so it can lower down slightly more. It's a bit of a Heath Robinson way of doing it. However, don't forget this is a pattern part as well, and we don't know whether, not the bumper, sorry, the front panel, we don't know whether that's anything to do with it or not. There could be so many reasons, and these bumpers are a pig. Sorry, not bumpers, but just generally the front, lining up the bonnet on these cars seems to be more difficult on these than it does on anything else. I know that I'm sure people have issues on all sorts of cars, but it always seems to be a bit of an issue. There are so many obvious places that it can be out of alignment, but yeah, it's just a matter of experimentation really. As we know, when you're trying to adjust the bonnet, if you can't do it, walk away, come back and do it another day, which is what I will do on this if I can't do it. But ideally what I want to do is I want to get this front done today, get the wheels back on, and I want to get it in the middle of the driveway and give it a clean, give the car a good clean, because it hasn't had a clean yet, and unusually for me it's still got all the Copart writing. I've took the sticker off apart from the one up on the passenger side, but unusually for me, and it's normally one of the first things I do. Yeah, so that's the plan. So I'm just going to have a little go at that, take that off, lower the bonnet down and see what happens. So I'm not going to bother filming that. We'll come back once I've lowered it down and we'll see how it is. Okay, there's your answer. I've taken it off, closed it down, and the bonnet closes in exactly the right position. So that bonnet catch is too high. What I did notice actually, both sides, see, it's fine. And the front is fine as well, it's spot on. So what I did notice, actually taking it off, which I didn't actually notice when I put it back on, is that bonnet catch is slightly bent. I think it was obviously the top of that, the old one, the old front panel was slightly bent in. So I've got umpteen of these things. I've got so many of the damn things. I'm going to put another one on instead. But I am going to lower it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bumper off, and then I'm going to make those holes a little bit bigger, and so we can lower that down a bit more, and then that should do the trick. Then once we've done that, we'll test fit the bumper again just to make sure it's right, and then we can put the extension arms, which have obviously come in the post by now. Get it all back together, and get the wheels on. That'll be a great job. So I'm just going to do that, and then once again we will come back. It's not worth me showing you doing that, but yeah, that is a good indication. So, you know, for those of you out there who had that same problem with the bonnet, it's worth trying this, especially if you've put a new front panel on. Whether it be, you know, I don't know whether it's anything to do with the fact that it's an aftermarket one or not, but you know, it's possibly to do with the positioning. But when you've got, if there were gaps at the front, then I would say yeah, because it needs to be hired up, and then that will close that gap up. But because they fit perfectly into the wings, I don't want to do that because I don't want to cause gaps. So yeah, let's do it, and then we'll come back and hopefully we can shut it and it'll be absolutely perfect. See you in a minute. Right, we're all set up, ready for some time lapse. In fact, the time lapse is already running. Yeah, done. Right, done to a degree. I've twisted the bonnet around. I've cut the holes bigger. Got some washers in there. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's much better. I haven't tried the fit of the bumper, but I know it's going to be good enough that I don't need to move this. So yeah, I think it's going to be good enough. I should have put the bumper on really, but I've decided to just go ahead and put these all on now. Get this done. So let's get these on time lapse, and then we'll come back, and I guess once these are all on, we can get the bumper back on. I think, yeah, the wing hasn't got to be adjusted anymore, is it? Don't think. We'll come on to the door in a minute. Yeah, there's going to be some more work on this door. This door's going to come off again. I'm not happy with it, and I'll explain why. Apart from the colour, of course, which you know, as I said before, I'm going to try and machine polish it and see if I can get it up. If it comes to it, I might even get another door, because I could sell this door for more than I've got it for, because I ended up getting it for 75 quid. And it was supposed to be off a 2014 car, and it clearly isn't because of the difference in the colour. So if there are any other doors around for a decent amount of money, I may well try a different door. But I'll come onto the door later. At the moment, this morning, I want to get this front finished, get the wheels back on. I'm going to clean the wheels on the inside first, but get the wheels back on, get the car into the middle of the drive and give it a damn good clean, because it hasn't been cleaned yet. So let's, well, so I say, time lapse is already running, so we better get on with it. Yeah, see you on the other side. That's it, all done, both sides. Takes much longer to put on than it does to get off, I have to say. One little, not mistake I made, but you know what this channel's like. I like to show you what I do wrong as well as what I do right. So what I did was, I put that in, slid that in, did the bolts up. I was just doing that bolt up, and then I looked around the front and I could see that it wasn't lined up properly. So I had to loosen those off, push that into position, shine a torch through so I could see the holes, then do those screws up, and then do those ones up. That's the much better way of lining it up, otherwise it just don't line up. They are a bit grotty, these. I should have given them a paint before I put them on, really. They're not the best ones. The old ones, although the old ones were mangled, this has clearly come off of an older car, so I am going to give them a bit of a paint up before I put the wheels on, just to tighten them up a little bit. But yeah, they're straight, that's the main point. It's only surface rust, but it just looks nicer if it's going to be painted. What else was there? Oh yeah, one other little mistake I made. On the bottom cam, not cam, whatever you call it, the cover here. I had that, when I put this back in, I had this piece, or the piece that you can't see, which is under there, was in front of the leg. and so I had to release the 2 screws, pull it up out the way and flap it underneath because it goes the other side of the chassis leg. That was one mistake I made, but it wasn't the end of the world. So yeah, they're all in. I greased up all the bolts, so whoever gets them out next when they have to do bottom arms and what have you, which hopefully won't be me. I have inspected them, they look okay, so hopefully they will be. Yeah, whenever someone has to do that, then it will obviously be easier for them to get the bolts out. So that's that done. All I've got to do now is put this in. We'll put the plug back into the air conditioning, and then we can get the front on. Great stuff. Right, that's it, they're all painted. There you go. All nice and black. Painted with Hammerite. Both sides, underneath as well. So they look much better now. I put the bottle in, if you saw on time lapse. Put the washer bottle back in. Filled it back up with fluid. Doesn't appear to be leaking. I haven't tested it yet, but I suppose I ought to before I put the bumper back on, just in case it's not. Then I can change the pump if it's not, but yeah, so I will test it. What else? What else have we got to do? We've got to put the arch liner back in. As I'm going to jet wash the wheels, I'm going to jet wash that arch liner as well, because it's, as they always are, they're filthy dirty. So yeah, I'm going to get the jet wash out, give those a good clean out in the garden. Get them back on. At least one of them, I'm just going to inspect them, at least one of them needs a new tyre. And I think the wheel will need a bit of a DIY refurb. It's a bit crunched up, bit of curb rash on it, so I'll get that done. So yeah, I'll set you up and we'll give these wheels a jet wash. We'll put that arch liner back in. Oh, I've got to put some seam sealer on the wing, where they'll put the new wing on. So I'll put that on first, jet wash the wheels, put the arch liner back in, put the wheels on, get it down, then we'll get the thing, get the car back on its legs, back on its feet, and yeah, give it a wash. I don't have a buyer lined up for this. Of course, I do have buyers lined up for cars in general, not for this one specifically. And I'm going to be, the other car is, as you know, sold. The 16 plate, it is parked up here. I've used it for work a couple of times this week just to give it a good run and make sure it's okay. But it's parked up here out of the way. It's a little bit dirty now because where I've been using it, so I'll give it a wash. That's not being picked up until next Saturday. It's all paid for, but it's not being picked up till next Saturday. So it's just staying parked there for the time being. It is all insured still. I have put a steering lock on it just in case. But yeah, so as soon as that's gone, I'll give you a little rundown of what's going on, what's going to happen. As soon as that's gone on Saturday, I will change my insurance policy over to the convertible. The convertible, as you know, is over at my sister-in-law's. There is a little bit of mould growing inside. It's nothing spectacular, but there is some mould growing inside. So I'm going to get that over here on Saturday. When I swap the policies over on Saturday morning, that car and the C will both be insured for that 24-hour period, or 12-hour period, up till midnight, whatever it is. Both cars are insured on the same policy where you've swapped them over. So what I will do, that's going to go about midday, but after it's gone, I will go over and get the other car and bring it back, having swapped over the policy. So I have put in, that was a good one that I had, good DRL that I had, with all the tabs are fine on that one. That was just a spare one I had knocking around. So I've put that one in. As you can see, it started raining again. The one I'm putting in this side is the one from the car. And all the tabs were broken, but I have plastic welded, sorry, pointing at the right place, plastic welded and hot stapled all the tabs back on. So the way I do this is I super glue it, hold it in position for like 30 seconds with the super glue. I then melt the plastic around it where it was broken off, to hold it, and then I put the hot staples in, and I've just got to go around with a little cutting machine and cut the protruding bits of the staples off. Then I put that in the bumper, and then that should be it, because everything else is already on the bumper. Yeah, that's me hot welding thing down there. It was a cheap eBay job for about, I don't know, it was £17, £18, I don't know, something like that. I've had it quite a few years now. It has served me well, and it's still going strong. Yeah, it's a good little bit of kit. So I'm going to put that light in, and then I'm going to offer the bumper up. But I haven't actually, as I said a little while ago, I haven't actually shut the bonnet since I adjusted, since I did that catch. So I'm hoping it's going to shut properly. Before I button up the bumper properly, I will obviously test it, because sometimes you have to pull the bumper in and out anyway. But hopefully the bumper's not going to need to go up and down. It shouldn't do. Okay, so let's do that. Right, let's see if this fits then. Should do. But then you never know. I just had to change a light bulb. I checked the headlights before I put it all back together, and this headlight wasn't working. Right, let's try it. Oh, let's connect the DRLs. That one. Oh, I know what I have got to do before I do that. Got these little screw things that go on the bottom of the bumper, bottom of the, what do you call it? That's it. Bottom of the arch liner that screw up underneath. I often forget to put these on. They never seem to be here a lot of the time for some reason. I don't know why. There we go, that's that one on. Right, connect this one up. I have discovered something on this car that's a little bit of a disaster actually, which I'll show you in a minute. I can't get that on. It's not snapping on. It always should click. And often, because they're caked in dirt and that, they don't, which means they're going to pop off. That's it. And I just get a pair of pliers, put a bit of pressure on it. Fingers don't do it. Right, here goes nothing. So they should all fit in perfectly, because I haven't actually moved the panel at all. That one's in nicely. Actually, let's put a... Oh, that's where I was wondering where those DRL bolts have gone. I'd put them down somewhere and I couldn't find them. That's where they are. Just to hold it while I put the other side in. What's going on here? What's going on here? Ouch! Ah, what the hell has happened here? What on earth? Something's getting in the way, I think. Right, I'm going to take that back out. Now that's stupid because I hate doing these things. I don't want to take it out now. Why on earth? I've not done anything. I've not. Is it not going under the light properly? Is that what's happening? Now the only thing I've done that could possibly be getting in the way is the foam. I wonder if I put the foam on the wrong way around. Wouldn't be the first time I've done that. No, it doesn't look like it. I can never remember. Is it the thick bit that goes at the top or the thin bit that goes at the top? I can never remember. And I know if you put it the wrong way around, it does cause these problems. So I'm not sure. I ought to do that when I've got it on the right way. Take a photo of it or write it on my little board up there, because I never know which way around it goes, and invariably I always seem to put it up the wrong way. That's the only thing I can think, because when I've taken them off they go on okay. Right, let's take this off. So I don't know, so I'm going to turn it round. Turn it round the other way. I'll just come back to the camera and see it had switched off. I'm not sure when it switched off. So you probably missed a load of what I was doing. Yeah, well, it all fits. So I don't know what you saw then, but I had the, I'll tell you again, and I'll cut it out if I've got that bit in the video, but the foam thing on the bumper I had upside down. So the bumper wouldn't go on properly at the edge. But now it's spot on. So yeah, I've adjusted this, but that needs to come out just a little bit more. So I just need to get the drill and make the holes just a little bit bigger. Just a smidgen, nothing much. Just a smidge. Just to be able to bring it forward a little touch. So let's, where's the drill? Get the drill bit. Right, so we'll just take, you can take these two out, because that one I think needs to come forward a little smidge as well. So it's not a lot at all. Not even sure that one needed drilling bigger. This one certainly does. Just a bit, just a touch. That's it, that'll do. Just to allow it to come forward a little bit. Let's tighten that up. Right, let's try that. See if that's done it. I've got a feeling that might have gone back in again a little bit. Oh. Yeah, still needs a little bit more. We push that forward. See if that does it. All right, that'll do it. Still a little bit out, I'll stuff it, that'll do for now. I'll come back to that at another time when we finish the car off, but it's pretty, actually from here it looks perfect. It's only when you look at it alongside, and the gap is equal as well. So I need to get the bolts in on the side, you know, on the wheel arches, and then that'll pull it up properly, because it's a tiny gap, but yeah, it should pull it up properly. It was fine before, wasn't it? When we put it on before, it was fine. So yeah, we just need to sort that, and then that'll be the front done. We'll need to get a number plate on it as well. Right, we are now all put back together. There's a couple of screws that need doing up a bit tighter. They were really difficult to get done up, so I'm going to redo, but for the moment it's okay. I'm going to get it into the middle of the drive, and then I'm going to show you a slight little disaster that I've come across. So bear with me while I just straighten it up and get it in the middle of the drive so I can give it a wash. Oh, just smacked my head. Oh, Fiat 500's not built for 6 foot people. It's bloody glass everywhere. I'm not going to do the wrap again. Right. Oh, I've got a mirror. Oh, I don't like not having a wing mirror, door mirror. Right, let's get it in the middle. Noisy brakes, as they would be. They are new brakes though. Right. Okay, it's in the place ready to wash. I'm just going to show you the disaster that I've just found. Slight disaster. Not disaster, but yeah, anyway, let's stop calling it disaster and let's show you. Now, remember we had that tape that was covering the glass. I thought this was tape residue, but it's not. It's a bit difficult to show you while it's wet, but these matte bits, it's because it's taken the bloody clear coat off. It's the glue on those things. Everywhere that was stuck. It hasn't done it down here, although maybe it was because it was stuck on the windscreen, but everywhere on the roof that stuff was stuck has taken the clear coat off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that myself or not. I'll certainly give it a go. I mean, I've got some 2K clear coat, so I'll certainly give it a go. But yeah, I'm going to have to cut back all. I mean, there's a bit there. There's clear coat. You can't see it when it's wet. I'll have to show you it again when it's dry. But there's a strip there where it's good, and then all of this bit is all, you can see it there. Yeah, it's difficult to show you when the car's wet because it's been raining on it, but we'll show you again tomorrow maybe when it's dry. But if I can't do that, if I do that and it looks crap, I'm going to have to take it to the body shop to do it. It's really annoying. It hasn't taken the paint off, it is only the clear coat, so it's not like it's going to be a complete respray. Although what I did think to myself is, if I can't get that to come up decent and I don't get another door, then I could get them to blow that over as well. Blow that side in to make it better. But I'm going by the damage on this door as well. You know, there's a couple of marks on it, well, more than a couple of marks. You know, I can repair it, I can hide it up, but I'm just thinking if I can get another door that looks better, then I will. Anyway, I think that's the car for the time being. We've done well today getting the front on, I think, and getting it all lined up nicely, or as good as I can get it. Again, you know, looking through the camera, the bumper looks completely different to the wing. It's not. I don't know why that. I mean, I do sort of know why. It's because plastic bumpers take paint differently to metal does. But yeah, you can see again. You know, looking through the camera, don't know why it does this, because that door is different to the wing, but it's not as different as it looks through the camera. I'm looking at it in real life and looking at it through the camera, and it looks twice as bad through the camera. It looks like a completely different colour. And you know, anyone Joe Blogs would notice that, because it looks too different. But yeah, we'll sort it out one way or the other. You know, we're still a relatively long way to go on this project yet, even though it's sort of, you know, the front of it is now sort of complete. Well, not sort of complete, it is complete. I've only got to put a number plate on it and it's done. And that was obviously the main damage. The door we will come on to on the next video. I'm not happy with it, apart from the little dents in it and the colour. Well, yeah, we'll come on to that on the next video. So I'm going to finish this video for now, and this will be your Sunday video. So what do you think? Starting to take shape? Well, it's more than taking shape, isn't it? So that's the end of this video. Front end is done. I think it's starting to look really nice now. It's filthy inside, so I need to get on and get that cleaned inside properly. Loads of glass scattered around in there. and it just need to clean it up really, and make a start on the inside. And obviously I've got to do that that sill as well. That'll be its own video all in one, and I think that'll be later on. I want to get all the other bits and pieces done first. Anyway, that is the end of this video, so thanks for watching. As always, if you're not a casual, if you are a casual viewer and not a subscriber, please click on that button, hit the subscribe button. Let's push us up to 5,000. We've just tipped the 4,500 mark now. I want to get up to 5,000 as soon as we can, and then we'll head for the next one, which is 6. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next week sometime for this or something else, who knows. But until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.